Yo, you remember that time when Toby and Liberty kissed?
I gotta tell you, that sounds awful.
Yeah, it wasn't one of Degrassi's best episodes. Looking back at this episode in retrospect, especially knowing where these characters and plot threads end up after this, it's a clear indicator that this shit was random as fuck.
This is funny to you?
And I'll tell you why in a second. But first, let me give you some brief context. So we're in season 6. Sorry about that. Liberty is going through it.
How are you? You seem a little bit tense.
I don't remember asking you a goddamn thing.
In the prior season, Sis got pregnant with JT's baby, broke up with JT, and had to give her baby away because JT was trapping and her parents wasn't having that shit.
I never want to see him here as long as I live.
So in this season, Liberty's got no kids, no mans, and on top of that, JT's dating this girl who has a kid. So it's fair to say that she's got some
Emotional damage.
Then there's JT who's dating Mia, and honestly, who cares? And I only say that because JT and Mia are only on screen together for a few scenes, and their whole relationship seems like a plot device anyway. But JT has been in a little rivalry with a bunch of kids from the other side of town.
Is this stupid war about me dating your ex? I don't care about Mia. She's just a dumb slut.
Toby doesn't really interact much with this storyline. He kind of just tries to calm down JT, and he also gets his arm broken in a fight because Degrassi hates Toby. Then a bunch of other stuff happens, and then JT dies. Right before JT dies, he tells Toby that even though he's dating Mia, he still likes his oatmeal. Oatmeal being Liberty. But yeah, so now JT's passed away, and that brings us to the very next episode where Toby, JT's best friend, kisses Liberty?
Smoking on top fives. Stop playing, I'm that guy.
The episode begins at JT's wake. Everyone is obviously upset, including the viewers.
Killing JT for no reason. The guy's a psycho.
Liberty's being dramatic, as she usually tends to be in this series.
We're worried about you, Lib. You haven't said a thing.
I have nothing to say, Emma.
You just said something. Toby stands up like a true hero in this situation to stop Liberty from leaving the service. And then he starts what I can only describe as indirectly flirting at his best friend's funeral. And just to add a little bit more salt into the wound, not only does Toby consider JT his best friend, apparently, he also said he was his brother.
You can talk to me. I'm his brother.
So goddamn, Toby, I don't know what's going on, and we're only 1 minute into the episode, my friends. For some random reason, Toby is rude as fuck to Mia throughout this entire episode, and it makes zero sense from a story perspective, unless it's just as simple as Toby feels guilty because he wants to get with Liberty. But hold up, why would Toby be mean to Mia? Shouldn't he be team Mia? Like yeah, JT loved you with all his heart, Scout's honor. Now let me go spit some game. Am I making this confusing, or is Toby just overly complex in his mind for no reason? And trust me, I got receipts to show you how stupid Toby's being in this episode. Let's examine this scene with Liberty, Mia, Toby, and Manny. Mia is at her locker, which is right outside of the counselor's office, coincidentally. And there's also only like one other student in the hallway, but that's just me nitpicking. Mia comes up to Toby and says,
I heard that you were the last one to speak to JT before he died. What did he say?
It's just talk. Nothing important.
already we got a flag on the play. Literally, JT could have said anything to Toby in this situation. He could have been like, I'm going to a vacation next week. He could have been like, yo, the Heat are looking nice this year. It's not a big deal, but for some reason, Toby cracks under pressure.
So he didn't say anything about me at all?
Not only once, but twice. Because then Manny comes in asking Toby a bunch of questions about what JT said, because she was being nosy as fucking over here in their conversation. And yeah, I know I've been focusing a lot of energy on Toby in this situation. Like, he's tweaking. He could have just easily answered these questions without being sus. But also, why the fuck does it matter to any of these people what JT said right before he died? Of course it matters to us, the audience. But in the context of the show and these characters, it just seems really, really ultrally convenient that now, all of a sudden, JT's last words are of vital importance to everybody.
Oatmeal.
Toby does end up telling Manny what JT said.
He told me he was still in love with her.
Oh my gosh.
And by the way, there's another plot happening simultaneously because that's just how Degrassi rolls. But because I'm only talking about the Liberty, Toby stuff, the other plot is irrelevant.
I'm sorry, but this conversation doesn't concern you!
You know, we're gonna get through this together. I promise.
Toby, why are you being so nice to me?
God damn it, Toby, stop flirting. I forgot to mention that there's like a big conundrum in this episode going on. And the whole center of the conflict is the stuff that's in JT's locker. This stuff isn't really that important, but like Mia starts taking everything.
But you're taking everything.
So, I was his girlfriend.
Liberty starts to get mad and then they get into like a verbal altercation.
I didn't get a chance to say goodbye to him. You have no idea how difficult this is.
I'm gonna give props to Nina Dobrev in this scene because imagine having to deliver this line with conviction and not having to bust out in laughter.
You're a robot, Liberty. A walking, talking computer.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
So Liberty waddles away in sadness and Toby runs after her.
Tell you what, why don't we get away from this for a couple hours?
What? What?
Toby, what are you doing? And the next scene, when Toby, innocently of course, is alone with Liberty, he gets out of the car and leans into the window. I feel violated just based off the camera shot. So obviously, they kiss. I know I've said it multiple times in this episode, but I gotta let you know one more time. This guy's best friend just died. I get that JT and Toby weren't always the coolest of friends, but still. I think Liberty is also bugging, even though this episode kind of just makes Toby seem like the creepy one. And Liberty is just this deer in the headlights. So after that kiss, things are pretty awkward.
Well, this is awkward.
Not really for Liberty and Toby, but I guess everyone else.
If I didn't know any better, I think something was going down between you and my sister. Does Danny have to choke a dude, Toby?
Danny, shut the fuck up. Just look at how they're portraying Toby in this episode. They got bro looking like a serial killer. Manny, acting as the best supporting actress in this plotline, tells Toby that he's a dumbass.
Are you cuckoo bananas?
And also gives him a heartfelt lecture in the boys' locker room for some reason. This is illegal in some way. This is some form of sexual harassment in some way, for sure, correct? But yeah, so Manny shames Toby, so he feels bad. He tries to find Liberty to mitigate the situation.
Toby, do you like me?
Yeah, a lot actually.
Well, I like you too. Problem solved.
And he failed. So it's come to this, Degrassi fans. They got you watching the JT tribute video while his friend and his ex-baby mama are banging in the back. Mia is crying about some shit.
What?
Toby waits till the worst possible moment to open his smart-ass mouth.
The thing about oatmeal, he meant Liberty.
And Liberty overhears everything because I'm sure they weren't using their indoor voices.
You knew how I felt about JT, and you knew how much it would mean to me to know he felt the same way.
Liberty, I was trying to protect you. I was trying to protect you.
And that involves kissing me?
Please don't play with me right now. Just, no, that's it, please.
Over the last few days, I've developed feelings.
Yo, I wish I had JT.
Damn, Toby, high school is rough. Liberty cries. There's a lot of crying in this episode. And clearly never forgives Toby again because even when they go to prom together next year, she cucks him by kissing another man.
That is not true.
The episode ends with all of them looking into JT's locker and scene. The only reason I decided to make this video is because I just felt like this entire episode should have been wiped from the show. None of the characters benefit from this storyline, and just the concept of a beloved character dying and the next episode being about this, that just doesn't sit right with me.
Sucks!
Thank you for anyone who's subscribed to this channel and only likes my Degrassi videos. I know I don't be putting out a lot, but I have another Degrassi video on the way, so stay tuned.
Well, I think that Psycho Drake was a ticking time bomb, and if it wasn't JT, it would have been somebody else.
I was really trying to keep it PG.